Hi, guys. It's hard for me not to feel down, low, depressed with the recent events. My vehicle issues that just don't stop. And so I don't know how long I'm going to be on today because I don't want to spread negativity in the form of depressive thoughts and whatever. But I am relatively, pretty much, pretty down. The light's weird, isn't it? So I see somebody's out here. Ugh. The lighting's really weird. There's a lot of good sunshine today. I can say that. So welcome whoever's here. I do see a person is out here because there's one person thing and one thumbs up. But I am feeling very, let me make sure that this is on correctly. Where's the big sun coming from? Oh, there we go. That'll help. Pull that curtain too a little bit. Oh, Catherine, hi. Oh, okay. I'm pretty down, Catherine. I've got car problems again. This is 3 years of car problems, and I guess I've realized that the 3 years of any problem, it takes a toll on a person. And I don't know how long I'll be out here today because just because. And I put notices on my close to me. One of the guys I know did comment, and I'll probably take his advice first. But then hang on a second. Oh, I hope this doesn't kick us off. I'm not going to try to answer her. Somebody sending me a message. I would like to answer them, but if I do, it might kick me off the live. So let me not do that. I don't know what to say. Anyways, broke it yesterday. Had been doing Luna, keeping Sabbath by the moon cycles, and then re-studied how I felt about that because it just seemed awkward and confusing, and that's not really, in my humble opinion, God's way of doing things. So it kind of just, went back and looked it all over again, and I was like, you know what? The holy days are done by the moon cycles, but I'm not so sure that Sabbath is. So I am keeping Saturday Sabbath again, which means I can't really socialize the same at farmers market. I mean, I can a little bit, but I have to be careful because the people at farmers market are Sunday keepers. And so they only do a Saturday. They don't do a Friday market, which would be great. Let's pray for that. I would love for us to have a Friday and Saturday market. And that way Sabbath keepers could go on Friday and not a Wednesday, which breaks up a week, which is like bizarre to me. So I would like to be a Friday market. But anyway, let's pray for that to maybe happen. So, like, I went yesterday because I had some things in a bag to give somebody, and so I did that. Um, but I'm just totally discouraged. Car problems are crazy. Another neighbor had offered to get under the vehicle and give me their opinion, and their opinion was the same as what I had supposed or whatever, deducted, whatever. And so, it's okay, Beth. I see your I see your cues. It's okay, Beth. I'm just so I'm pretty certain that Stan and his shop did not install my oil pan correctly. In order to even get to my oil pan, you have to, I don't know if I'm saying this right, drop the engine. You have to dismantle the engine to get to, or something, to get to my oil pan because it's so small. And I had a good hunch that they weren't installing it right. But there's only so much I could do because every time I would say anything, or I would do research to make sure that mine was going to get done right, I was told to stay out front. It's so much. I try so hard. Okay, okay. Breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. So, at farmers market, one of my neighbors went under to look for me, to give me extra advice. And he told me the same thing, that oil had been sprayed all underneath the under, and that it was definitely leaking from, told me to go out front. Anyway, so if he put that on, it would leak. If he put that on and then they added ATV to it, it would leak. If they stripped the bolts, it would leak. The neighbor that got under said that the plug has 2 or 3 washers. That would make it leak. So I don't know the answer. Okay. So I have 2 friends who have offered, 2 friends, well, one's my son, who have offered to do the job. But my son didn't know that you have to take the engine out to do that, and he can't do that. And the other friend is in Kansas. They're on the phone. My screen is dirty. Yes, I'm wiggling the phone. I'm putting the tripod up on the floor, closer to a floor, closer to a. Let's see. Is it charging? I don't think it's charging. Hold on a second. Let me make sure that the battery's charging. Yes, it says it is. Okay, let's see if this works. So I'm sorry about it buffering so badly. I'm trying to not be upset, but I'm upset. I mean, I don't know how to fix these things. I can't do it myself. I don't. I'm just really upset. Okay, guys, I'm just really, really upset. And then I've been talking to my older sister some. Oh yeah, I knew I kind of had an oil leak. I'd been babying it and hoping it wasn't serious. But new engine and an oil leak. And it's the oil pan or oil pan gasket, which you have to remove the engine in order to get to, and the drain plug, which for some odd reason has got washers behind it. It shouldn't have. Just, I'm trying to keep breathing, okay? But I'm basically depressed. I've been having a really hard time this week. Um, they're having a off-grid class up at the church that's about 7 miles away here this afternoon, and it's my friend Dee Dee is doing a crochet class. I don't crochet, I knit, but I'm gonna go up. Okay, I sometime yesterday decided to start knitting up this plasticky crap yarn that somebody gave me. So I started a basket weave style, like scarf or something, uh, just because I can't stop thinking about all this stuff going on, and I'm tired, and I just tired. I'm tired of this crap. Other people don't seem to have these kind of problems. 3 years of vehicle problems. I'm just, oh, they're, yeah, escape fantasies, things I would do if I could. I would just sell everything and go somewhere where I could walk everywhere and not have to have other people so in my life. Um, Except I don't like the kind of people that are moving to places these days. And I know about going to foreign countries. When you're the American, you're the one shoved out in front of the firing squad, not the grandkids. So I know that's a thing I just said, but it's true. Okay, it's true. There's going to come a day when, well, there's always a day at a border crossing when somebody recognizes the color of your passport and they try to charge you more money, or, bully you into something. And I've gotten out of some of those scary, weird situations a couple of times. I don't want to do that again. And but I'm tired. I'm tired of the problems. I'm tired of not being able um, to trust people, even here. I know that I'm not sounding as positive as I try to usually be. And it appears that there's somebody living on the state trust land that is kind of kitty corner to me. That's disturbing, because about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, I've been hearing ATVs and seeing the lights. And I then hear wood chopping and chainsaws, and that's not supposed to happen either, but it just leaves me not feeling very safe. And then I'm seeing myself on this phone screen, and I'm aware that I keep going back and forth between being bloated or feeling like I'm gaining weight, or I don't even know sometimes. So I'm frustrated, and I'm sorry it's coming out this way today, guys, because I try so hard to be positive about stuff. But I'm having a hard freaking time being positive about another problem with the same vehicle. And I am not liking the idea of driving all the way to Kansas to have somebody help me with this problem, or driving all the way halfway or more than halfway across the country to have somebody help me with this when I'm not for sure they can really do it. They may want to do it, but the actual ability to do it is a whole other thing, because you got to pull the engine to fix this, if it's what I think it is, which I think it is. Yeah, I'm really sorry, guys. Okay, I'm breathing. Thing when I'm. What is this crap? Oh, something new coming up on the screen. I don't want that. Okay. Oh, Iris, thank you for the hugs. Hey, I bumped into somebody yesterday who I had met years ago. And I had bought one locking rain barrel from them. And I love that little rain barrel. It's only like 35 gallons. She has more of them. She's finally here more often. And so she and I are going to talk about more rain barrels and the fact that they lock on the top could keep the bull out. Now, so you guys know, the bull that I was having trouble with, the rancher got a hold of me and said that he is going to auction, he's going to come get the bull. He might have already done it. And he's going to take it to auction because the bull um, is crippled, and that's why he was making weird sounds and why I can't scare him away. And that they, as the ranchers, are not able to herd him or control him, and so they're going to auction him away, and get him out of here. So that's kind of nice. Uh, so let me see if I can pull myself together to help you guys somehow. Please, somebody, give me something that I can focus on outside of me to help you guys with your off grid or travel lifestyle or something. Please help me have something to talk about. I have got a lot of beautiful natural yarn that one of my followers has sent me. I have a lot because now I have. So I first got just wool, then I got merino wool, and then I went back to the post office the other day, and there was cotton, some really pretty cotton yarn that this same person has sent me. And then what else happened? I don't know what else kind of happened, but that stuff happened. Um, I have ordered new knitting needles because I had knitting needles somebody had given me, and there's these great long ones that I don't use very often. And then I ordered some bamboo needles, but I wasn't paying attention when I ordered them. They were inexpensive, but they're little short ones for like making lace. So even though there's some good size, thick, but they're for making lace. So I've had to order some longer double-ended because I like to knit. Um, I taught myself how to knit on double-ended needles. And so I just needed some longer double-ended needles, so I went ahead and sent those. Let me look back and see if there's uppercase Q comments that I didn't. I just saw the word snow on something. I don't know what I saw, but there's a Iris says amen. Thank you at Mush Mush 5744. What did they say? I didn't see that. Oh, thank you. Whatever you sent. Thank you so much. So, oh, whatever. Just whatever. Um, I took baby kitty. Yeah, I don't really have a name for this cat, but it's because I've lost so many cats to the wild animals and the weather and whatever else. Um, I went ahead and put the crate inside the car and went to the post office with the cat and the dog in the car to see how traveling with the cat would be. Very interesting. She talks a lot, but now she feels like the crate is more her place. So I'm kind of taking the basket she had claimed as home back so I can use it for knitting because it'll be easier to move around. So, uh, so yeah. So this afternoon, I'm going to run up to the church for that little crochet group, and whether she wants me to crochet with her or not, I know how. Um, I'm willing to, but I'm going to take my knitting basket just to support the girl that's instructing it and the neighbors. And then I'm hoping that we can maybe get a little knit crochet group together once every couple of weeks or something, and we just sit for an hour or something. I think that would be kind of cool. Um, so, um, Wendy was, I think, a little jealous of the cat going for the ride with us, but she was very supportive. And then we came home, and there was a little thing with the cat toys and the dog toys. And then Wendy started playing with her toys in the afternoon, which she's never done. So that's kind of cool. And now, I don't know. Uh, and the cat is starting to not bite so much. The cat seems to be understanding no and out and things like that. So that's helpful. And I have no freaking idea if I take the cat and the dog and go somewhere because I feel like I can't. Because who knows what's going to happen with the car? Why do we have to have vehicles? Why do we have to have, So, what does somebody need me to help them solve that's not my problem? That would be wonderful. I screwed up my last couple of meals I was trying to make for myself. I didn't even like them. I got gas afterwards. And I don't know. Sometimes when you're having a hard time, everything kind of goes downhill before it goes back uphill. So, whatever. Hey, but my garden is looking great. The beets, let me tell you this. The beet seeds that I put in the ground 2 years ago, maybe, they're starting to sprout. I thought the seeds were just gone because I never saw any beets. But all of a sudden, the temperature must have been right. I got baby beets in places that I are not the garden right now, but used to be part of the garden before. So that's kind of cool. And winter gardening, I got some plants, starter plants for winter plants from one of my neighbors. I bought them from her. Some cabbage, um, Swiss chard, arugula, a couple of other arugula things. Um, uh, other brands of arugula. I was trying to think what the other plants were, but I don't remember right off quick. Um, but I got like 12 starter plants for the winter garden. So, um, they're all looking really good. I put She gave me a seed pod from elephant garlic. And I stuck that in a spot. I hope it was a good spot, but whatever, I'll just deal with it. Um I see Mary. My fridge has had issues not cooling. I took it out, let it rest. When I plugged it in, compressor started for a second, then nothing, assuming it's fried. Oh, Mary. I'm so sorry. When you guys depend on fridges, I understand. Now, me on the other hand, not depending on a fridge, my cooler has still got ice that's over a week old because it's cool enough that it almost melts, but not really. So there's still a pretty good chunk of ice in there. And then my little, um, what's it called? My little mini root cellar is not together. I would like it to be more together, but it'll be okay. It'll come together over time. So, oh, I'm so sorry you've had trouble with your fridge. That's hard. And I apologize for rocking so much. It's part of my self-soothing, according to some therapist way back when. It's how I kind of keep myself okay sometimes is I just kind of rock because I have a hard time. Who's this? Iris. I am fighting a miles per gallon problem with my minivan. 3 different mechanics, struts, shocks, new tires, front end alignment, multiple bottles of fuel additive, tune up so far. Still 9.5 miles per gallon. I have a similar problem with the tracker. My son asked me about coming out where he is, which is halfway across the country. And he said something about, well, it'll only cost you a couple $100 to come out here. I have no idea, Josh. I don't know what well, how much is your gas mileage? I'm like, yeah, I probably get 5 miles to the gallon. You can't, it's a tracker. Yeah, yeah, okay. But probably my dash cluster doesn't work correctly. One, I've got a lift kit, different tires, so it's not going to register right. And because I have a new engine, of course the miles isn't right. Then the trip meter won't go back to 0 anymore, so I can't use that to tell me anything. So I can put maps on my phone, but when I turn on the road to come home, it'll shut itself off. And so I never get to register how many actual miles. So there's a whole, I get tired of that stuff. um, thank you, thank you, Beth, for saying rock away, because that's how I feel. Um, Mary, so would you consider it dead or have an idea? I guess they are out of wheelhouse now that I think about it. Um, Not completely out of my wheelhouse, but if you let it rest and then tried it again and it still didn't help it, do you have I forgot what brand you have. Do you have a Dometic or something that would have been okay with all the bouncing around of driving a lot? Yours probably was a good enough one that that wouldn't have been a problem. But I would have a tendency to think, do something you're not supposed to do with it while it's unplugged. Like turn it upside down, shake it around a little, and then wait. And then plug it back in again and try it again. I would do some of that kind of like shake it up stuff. Um, but it's funny, when they're dead, they're dead. And that's one of the reasons why I never really got into the whole refrigerator thing. Was first off, for me to afford one and all the solar to run one, oh, it was a cheap one. Okay. Yeah, Mary, I agree with you. When I read that you said it was a cheap one, 3 years is probably a win. I'll agree with you on that. That's probably true because you run it 24/7 like it's a daily fridge. So I would say yes. You're probably right. It's probably dead. Um, did you try going somewhere where you could switch the cord to the electric cord and find out whether it runs on electric power somewhere? Sometimes that'll reset it. I've tried that before with some other people's. Um, but for me personally, and on my income, it's challenging to afford all the solar to run refrigerators. Then it's challenging to buy refrigerators. And all the time when I'm working on those two things, I'm so aware that if something happens and I had to replace it, I'd have to start that all over again with all the stress of trying to do it. And so when I finally got rid of the one I had, and I'm so glad that that worked out the way it did, the person who bought the little fridge from me wanted it for their bedroom in their house. They were an adult living with their family, and they were just really tired of always trying to go to the refrigerator. And the sodas they were buying, the family was okay. The family was drinking their sodas before they could get to them. So this way they could have a fridge in their home, in their bedroom, and they could separate their drinks from the families. And that made them, it was a win-win. It helped me, it helped them, solved my problem. And then when I found my Ninja cooler, I was so happy with my Ninja cooler. Now, I do think, as we're talking about fridges, Mary, that even though I love my Ninja cooler, I think inside the temperature changes in a vehicle situation. I don't know whether it would work so good in a hot vehicle. Because it works good with plenty of air around it and whatever. I could make a insulated cover for it that would help, but I don't know. Mary's saying yes. I plugged this one in to AC for the test. That's good that you did that. And then Mary says I would buy this one again if they still sold it. What kind did you have, Mary? I understand the Alpacools are really good. Oh, Mary, you probably could. Your income and my income a little different. Now, no offense to anybody, but and nothing to you either, Mary. I don't mean anything bad. But there is a brand, well, there's more than one brand of refrigerator. Okay. Um, there is a brand of refrigerator. Am I going to remember it right now? Check out Playing with Sticks videos about the refrigerators, okay? Because there's a newer one, it's really kind of pricey. But if I was going to look at one, I would probably look at one of the newer ones that he reviewed. And one of them, it has battery packs that you pull out and charge and then put them back in. And one of them has a fan inside the lid to help the air circulate. I just really, really. Oh, okay. I see that, Mary. I see that name, F4OCTMP. Um, but I know that that particular refrigerator. I can't remember that company that sells it right quick, but um, I would risk if I had enough to do that. I would risk trying to have that kind of a ref, fridge cooler thing, over some of the other options, because if the battery pack dies, you could buy another one instead of, if something happens to the mechanics, the cooler's shot or the fridge is shot. So I would I would look at some of those, and like I said, I don't remember. Maybe one of them is the Anchor refrigerator. Might have been. And the other one, I don't remember exactly. Now, I appreciate, incredibly appreciate what? You want to go outside? Wendy's talking to me. Hang on, guys. Um, the I appreciate the oyster cooler, but the oyster cooler is vacuum sealed aluminum, and they have some really good. They call it freezer battery pack or something, but they're basically, you got to freeze them somewhere else. But they're not bear proof. And yes, I'm away from the camera. Hold on, here, Wendy. Wendy wants to go outside. Okay, I put her out. No, I didn't show you guys, but that's what happened. Anyways, uh the oyster one, that's the only problem I see with the oyster, not oster. Oyster one, oyster was the old vintage blenders that were good. But the oyster one, it works really good. And I imagine it would be fantastic. But if it's not bear proof and I'm still traveling in the tracker, it would be so easy if I was in bear country for a bear to get in my tracker, the removable roof, a couple of claws, and I wouldn't want that to happen. So I don't want to do that personally. Some of your bigger vehicles, you're not going to have that problem with. And I do know people that do things like get a small refrigerator that freezes well, and they just make freezer things and keep their food in a cooler. So, or they do the ice machine and then use a cooler. But it's everybody's got their own way of doing things. Uh, Beth is saying, don't get bodega. Yes, battery alternative, but got started on two with no customer service. Yeah, there's those problems too. And Mary saying, Bouge sells a very similar one. More money, of course. Blue Eddy has one, not for you. Yeah, I hear you. I was looking at a removable battery pack cooler fridge that is a backpack style, um, and that the battery packs can be actual battery packs to run your phones and things. You got to remember, I do all my lighting separately. So I don't have the same things running on power that a lot of people do because of how I choose to do things. So, um, yes, Mary, I agree with you. You got a countertop ice machine, sent it back. They have zero insulation, at least the ones you try. Yes, they do have zero insulation. They're just made for cranking out ice and not very fast a lot of times. But you run them for an hour and then, right, then turn them off or whatever you do. But I agree with you. The countertop ice machine, I wouldn't do it either. I mean, you think it's a good idea, but it's really not. Um, I don't mind paying $3 for a bag of ice cubes and putting it in my little um, vacuum sealed uh, I, container, stainless steel vacuum sealed thing, and the ice will keep for days, almost a week. So I'm fine with that. Who's this? Okay, countertop ice machine. Beth is saying, I love my Osronvik fridge. They don't make them anymore. Got you. You know, I find that sometimes the older things work better. I bought a rather pricey, it's right here on the windowsill, a rather pricey, can you see that lantern with the copper handle, right? It's from back backwoods. No, what are they called? Backwoods designs. Backwoods. No, I'm not saying it right. Anyways, that little lantern was $40, and I got one. And it got so hot when I tried to charge it that I got a hold of the company. Well, the company, argued with me a little bit because I bought it at Overland Expo. And they tried to say that wasn't really them. And I was like, wait, the guy that sold it to me said he owned your company. And he didn't give me a receipt because I used a card and he put it on his little, tablet. And I was like, so it's got to be in your records because he said he owned the company. And they were like, yeah, 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 yeah. They sent me a new one. I just gotta tell you, I like. Can you see the orange one up there in the corner? Let me make that bigger for you. The orange one hanging above the window. $17. I've had that thing for I don't know how many years. 6, 7 years, something like that. That thing works. Whoops. That thing works great. Now I've got my face real big. There we go. The orange one works great. The other one, you got to charge it every single day. Well, that's annoying. I don't want to charge things that much. Yeah. Ice prices on the road, $3 to $5 now. Gotcha. I mean, in my particular area right here, it's 250 something in St. John's. And then up at I-40, it's right around, it's under $3 at the grocery store up on I-40. But I mean, I get it, $3 to $5. But when I can put it in the double wall stainless, I have a 64 ounce and I have a 1 gallon. And when I can put the ice in those and it'll stay most of a week, even in the middle of summer, I'm good. I'm good. So, so that's that. Now I see this other person, Vans something, 1969. And it says, I want help. On our channel, I ask you to please put 3 uppercase Q's and then tell me what you need help with, okay? And then I can try to help you solve problems. I'm struggling to deal with my own crap, so I'm so glad to be able to be distracted by helping somebody else with their own stuff. But please put the 3 uppercase Q's so I know to read the message. And then I can talk about whatever's going on. So, what did you say? Say Vanish? Okay. But I'm not reading all the messages going through. I usually only read the ones that have 3 uppercase Q's first. So, and yes, I'm rocking a lot today. I've been having a time. It's about my crush. It's completely one-sided. We're preparing for an exam, but her scores are down bad. We are not ending in the same college. I hate it. Well, there's lots of things in life that you don't like the way they go. We don't get to control all the stuff that happens to us in life. And so, unfortunately, if it's reality, you got to take a deep breath. I mean, I have to do the same thing with myself. You got to take a deep breath and just say thank you to the great creator, even if we don't understand. And you can express it that way to the great creator. I don't think that he has any problem with that. You can say thank you. I don't know why thank you, but thank you because somehow this will help me be a better person and or whatever. Okay? It'll help me through life somehow. And aren't you glad it's just a crutch and not your wife? That would be a problem. um, or husband or whatever. So uh, I would look at it that way. That's there's a lot of things that are going to happen to you in life that happen to you, not necessarily because of you, but happens. You know, when I'm traveling, Mary, I'm thinking of your refrigerator again. When I'm traveling, and even lately out here, as long as I've got a working vehicle, I sometimes actually just go to the grocery store a little more often. I try to buy things that don't need refrigeration as much as I can, but some stuff I can't maneuver. I do the best I can. Um, so like I don't have anything to show you right now, but like those cans of mackerel that I like or the kippered herrings that I like, they don't need refrigeration, where maybe the beef does or a piece of lamb does. But if I'm going to eat the lamb or something fresh when I buy it, it could be this night's or the next day's meal is whatever the fresher meat I bought was. And then the canned stuff is for after that, before I go shopping again. And then where I was struggling to get fresh raw goat's milk, and I found the powdered raw goat's milk. It's expensive, but once I found it, I'm making my kefir with that. I like my kefir for breakfast. I'm learning that I really feel better and like that. And I think what I'm going to do is when I go to the store, I may go to the store today. When I go to the store next time, I think I'll get some berries. I love blueberries, but I'll get whatever I may have to do cheap. But get some berries to go with my goat milk kefir. And and I might get a package with a couple of chicken thighs or something. I made chicken thighs with Italian green beans the other day and just thoroughly enjoyed that and just drank a lot of broth from that. It was I don't know that I was depressed that day like I've been feeling today. Um, and and I want to bring up the fact that it could be true that things like depression, the great creator doesn't see us as down and out and always having a problem. He sees other stuff somehow. And so perhaps that depression thing that has had me a lot of my life, it might actually be a demon. Now, I don't mean that in some weird frou frou way, but if we see it as not the positive, right? And don't stay there and kind of command it to go and do everything you can to keep it away. I don't know, that's a little out there or something, but not bad. I mean, not way out there. Um, so what else is what else can I help you guys with? You know what I'm gonna do? Both the cat and Wendy are outside right now, so I don't have to fight anybody over some yarn. Maybe I'll knit while we talk, because it's been one of those days for me. And I am pleased. I haven't done this in a long time. I tried to do a design in here of a couple of rows different. It didn't come out the way I wanted it to, but I left it. So, I'm one of those people that if it doesn't show too much, just let it be. So, yeah. Whew. So, I don't know, Mary, on your refrigerator. I feel for you. Oh, and Mary, I remember how much I liked your the instant coffee that you buy. And I noticed the other day that it is on Amazon. And I wondered if I could, because I have a little bit of instant coffee here, mostly decaf, but I wondered if I could bite the bullet one month and buy a couple of that kind of instant coffee for times when I'm feeling like I have been lately and just like it's everything's too much and I just don't want to deal with it. Makes me feel better. But I'm trying to find the little tiny thermos I had for hot water, the one that G gave me. I've had that thing for a long time and I can't find it. I don't know what happened to it. It's here somewhere. I just don't. It's got to be in that tub out back, whatever. Uh, what am I seeing here? Okay. Vanish, I see that last comment. If she's not motivated, that's got nothing to do with you. You just have to let that be. You can't control other people. Now, that doesn't give you answers, but sometimes we don't get answers in life. So, uh, new people coming through. 3 uppercase Q's means I will read your comment out loud and I will discuss it somehow. If you don't use uppercase Q's, I don't see your messages because I don't look for them. So, and I do see somebody's message that does not have uppercase Q's. If you look at the description of the live stream, you will see where I am. I post it every time. So, thank you, moderators, for helping out today. New people, uppercase Q's, or I don't read your comments. It's the way it works. Or I don't read them out loud. 3 uppercase Qs, and then I will read your comments out loud. Yeah, I just feel like it's been a week. I've also been a little bit struggling with how I feel about a friend's relationship to AI stuff because of how I believe about the reality of AI. I don't want that influence in my space, because I don't. Just because. I think we're still rolling. The messages haven't moved in a minute. Ah. So, here I am, knitting. I'll probably donate this to um, the Witchwell thrift store to try to help somebody in our community in this general area during the winter, because we get some pretty extreme weather here. And anytime starting around Thanksgiving, we could start having snow and major stuff. So, okay. What was that? Mary says, "Oh, I got a big problem. Gophers are digging in the foundation on the New Mexico property." Oh, and Leanna saying, "Yes, we are still rolling. Good signal." Oh, good. Okay. So, oh, and Leanna, thank you for the tripod. It's on the tripod, and it's probably 2.5 feet from the back door. And this seems to be good right now. Gophers. Okay. So, gophers digging in the foundation in New Mexico. When I was in Nevada, I house sat for a woman, and she got the solar stakes that were for gophers, and they make a horrible sound. I don't like the sound, but they during the day, and then 24/7, every once in a while, they put off a little vibration in the ground as well as a little sound. And the new ones have a sound as well as as flashy, like eyeballs shapes. They work. I would look at that first. But if you're going to be there for any length of time, get a terrier dog, because they will take care of that. I am so grateful I do not have that problem. So, by the way, I do not like circular needles at all. But I didn't have any. I didn't have anything the right size. There was something I could maneuver, so I'm using it because I have it. Don't like circular needles. Okay, let's see what was next. Leanna, we're still on. Beth saying, smiley face or something, rocking and knitting. Yeah, that's how I feel today, rocking and knitting. And guys, I thought I was doing a good thing buying this chair. First off, I couldn't afford to spend money on the chair the design I really wanted. The chair I really wanted was like $200, $190. I couldn't afford that, and like, why? So I farted around hunting for something, but I needed something comfortable. So then I found this chair for $45, and I bought it, and yes, I had to put it together. And I'm so disappointed that it's such a slouchy looking chair. I wish it was more neat. It just looks like, and it's not a rocking chair. And I didn't realize how much I would want a rocking chair inside. So, bummer. I love my rocking chairs on the front porch. Absolutely love them. I like my little short fire pit rockers that are out back by the hammock space. They might come in on the patio for the winter. I don't know, or I'll fold them up and just hang them somewhere for the winter. But I was trying to not spend $100 on a chair. Was the whole thing. And like I said, the one I really liked was 190, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not spending that much money. So when I found one that looked comfortable for $45, I said, let's just buy it. And that way, and I'm disappointed in what I got. So don't be surprised when I figure out a way to change this chair and have something a little more comfortable, and probably a rocking chair. Or maybe I'll bring in one of those rockin' lawn chairs for the winter. I haven't decided, but don't be surprised. Uh, Mary, LOL. The Gophers are already ahead, doing it in the shade side. No doggies for me. I'm out of here. Or is something next week? I don't know what that says. L something next week. I don't know what that is. And then Mary says, Fat Fingers, probably next week, getting off the mountain to beat the snow. Oh, totally understand. But now the Gophers, I'm high enough elevation. Thank you, Creator. I don't have that issue. But, oh, Gophers are incredible. What else can you do for Gophers? I looked it up once. Now I know things like mint and stuff like that, they're temporary fixes. They don't last. But the Gophers is a whole different. It's a whole different problem than what I've had. I'm sorry, Mary. um, I don't remember what was the big fix for that. And I get you're not going to do dogs. I think you can get some of those solar things that might be corded so that you put the solar panel in the sun and then you run those along the foundation. I don't remember. Oh crap. I think I just screwed up. Let's go back a few stitches. Oh, wait a minute. No, I did it right. I didn't do it wrong. Poop head. I thought I did it wrong there for a minute. Talking. This is what happens if you're sitting in the living room with me. But I think having a rocking chair in this spot, bummer on this chair, but maybe I can sell it or something. I don't know. I mean, it's a nice little chair, but it looks slouchy to me. I don't, and I don't like being so. I don't. Okay, let me be quiet. I don't know. I don't know. Let me go back. What's your elevation? 7,000 here. I'm at 6,500. I'll look for them. No poison here because a neighbor pets. I totally understand that. So, yeah, I totally understand that, Mary. But I would look for the ones. I would look for those solar operated vibrate vibrating things. That's the part that works is the vibration. It scares them away from things. They don't like that. That's there we go.
10:30. Okay, we're still doing good. 10:30. Oh. So when I do get to using that other new yarn that I was gifted, I will probably first make socks because that's probably most likely. I mean, I could do other things, but most likely that's where I'll start because I could use a few pairs of socks. I know I would rather not be here during winter, but if I can't trust my vehicle, I it wouldn't be wise for me to go anywhere. Going somewhere and breaking down is not on in my plans. Plus the fact that I still have not fixed the leak because part of the leak is the weather stripping on the rear windows. And I do have a call in to the windshield guy about trying to get that done correctly. Because once that's done, then I've got the stuff to paint the back part of the roof to stop that leak. But I have plans for adding some roof rails that will give me attachment points on the back of the tracker. And in order to do that, I need to buy some more supplies. So I could paint the back part of the roof to help, but taking off the current rails and having something to replace it, I'm not quite ready for. So, yeah, those are things for the tracker. Mary's saying it's hard to know where the line is on projects. Prayers for peace and direction. Yeah. Oh yeah. You for you too. Yeah. I know it is hard to know these things, and you know, and then I'm being asked to teach off grid classes here locally, which I had been doing years ago, and I'd been excluded from that club because I wasn't around. And now they're starting to go, hey, we found out that you know stuff. How about you? So I went to talk to them about it, and they were having some church thing. And I was like, all right, well, y'all do your church because generally I believe a little bit different than most people. And not than everybody. I mean, there's plenty of people who believe more like I do, um, but sometimes you just gotta, you know, not bow out, but kind of just, you guys do you. So, I just saw my phone dinged and I just looked up. There was a message came through, and it's some of my friends from the Zooks off road. I mean, not Zooks off road, um, Zooks of Arizona. I'm one of their members, and they do the Zuki Palooza event, which I love, but I haven't been able to go to since my engine blew. So I just noticed another friend saying, "Hey, take Ron's suggestion first," and I was like, "Okay," because Ron did answer me a little while ago, and now I forgot who it was that just sent that, but because I was trying to tell y'all. But anyway, uh, Ron had said, make sure some things are tight first. And that's what the guy who looked at it briefly yesterday said. And he said, I want you to get a new drain plug. And let's see if we can't get a new drain plug so that there's no extra washers in the way. And then let's make sure that the bolts on the oil pan are torqued correctly. And then let's find out what's going on. And I was like, okay, that makes sense before you drop the engine. I mean, okay, and if you came in late, you don't know what I'm talking about till you go rewatch the video later, because I'm not going back over the whole story. That's why I'm rocking and knitting, because I've been kind of upset about it all, but I'm not willing to stay depressed. Now, let me go back and check. Mary said, "Got to get back to my work. Have a great week, y'all." Okay, Mary. And Mary, when you get ready, let me know. Safe travels. We'll all pray for you when you start traveling and stuff. You be careful, okay? Well, I know you will. You travel a lot, so I want to travel more. I miss it. So maybe soon. Go have a successful day, Mary. I'll take a look later too, for those solar powered but maybe corded uh, gopher things. I'll take a look too and see if I can't help you find them. Okay. And Mary saying thank you and waving, and Iris is saying love you, Mary, with prayers and heart emojis. That's great, guys. That's how we use 3 uppercase Q's, so that me, Miss Lesa, Simply Lesa, whoever the heck I am, will read your comments and then comment or talk about it. So uppercase Q's, and I'll read the comment. Otherwise, they just scroll on by. Well, you could always give me a super thanks if you want, because I can take that. I can take donations, but I'm not a big whatever. Yeah, I think I'll get some. I think I'll get some berries, blueberries, or strawberries, or something when I go to the store, so I can have my kefir and berries for breakfast. That just feels better. I mean, I'm kind of burping my coffee this morning, which wasn't whatever. You know, cheap coffee's not always that good. Uh, Beth says, I'm still listening, working at refurbishing an old chicken coop for winter. There you go. That's an important thing to do up where you live, Beth. So, and I'm not going to stay on too long, because I have been being depressed. Uh, not staying that way. I won't allow it to stay that way. Okay, um, but I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom soon too, so I won't stay on for a long time this morning. I'll probably go in the next little bit. Um, and Wendy and baby Kitty, um, my son's 2-year-old daughter, is calling her Bobby Paint Kitty. And when he asked her why Bobby Paint, and she says because she's Bobby. That's her name. And I was like, okay. And paint because her tail is big and it looks like a paintbrush. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then she said, but her feet are so big, her paws are so big, and her nose is so cute. So uh, I'm not calling the cat that at this stage of the game, but that's what she calls her. And I know they want me to come visit. The thing is I don't want to go visit having a car problem. I want my car problem to be fixed before I go do any visiting of anybody or any traveling of any length of time. Couple hours away, I want my car running better and I want the leak fixed before I do some of those things because it's just too much. I've had enough stress and enough worry. That sounds like Wendy got out in the front yard. I don't know how she did that. But she sounds safe so far. The last 2 mornings, something set off the driveway alarm at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I can't see what it is when that happens, but yeah, what was that? Oh, that's Iris. Oh, Bobby Cat sounds cute. Yeah, I could probably start calling her Bobby Kitty because she's starting to answer to baby. Like I call her Baby Kitty, right? But Wendy knew that Wendy's toys were her babies. And so now it's sort of like I noticed that we're all getting a little confused with the baby. So I may start calling her Bobby Kitty just to, I don't know, just cause. But, yeah. Well, do we have many more comments or should we start closing up here for the day? I mean, I'm going to keep knitting. It seems like a knitting day, but I've got to go to the bathroom and you know the emotional, my being up and just wanting to cry this morning because it's like it just can't fix it. You can't fix something, and the realizing, not realizing, but you know just kind of going, crap, it's been 3 years I've had, oh, Wendy's not in the front. 3 years I've been having problems with the car. I'm tired. Yeah, I don't want to keep doing this, people. Why do we have to have cars anyways? Right? So, I don't know. Anyways, it's what we're doing. It's what I've been doing today. And, but I'm going to want to go along and go to the bathroom and okay, if I'm good, if so Beth is saying if you're good, then we're good. Hugs and thumbs up. Well, you know what? That's how I feel. If I'm good, we're good. And so I'm going to keep working on this. It'll be a scarf. I'll probably donate it to the Witch Church at Witchwell thrift store as like a scarf. It's a scarf. I'll probably donate it to them unless somebody just really wants it, and then you'd have to let me know. And maybe donate enough money so that I could ship it to you or something. I'd be willing to do that, but it's not going to weigh much, so it'd be just an envelope. But anyways, so let's go. That way I can go to the bathroom. I can tend to Wendy and Bobby Cat. Bobby Kitty. Let me start there with Bobby Kitty. Let's do that. And then, and Bobby's a girl. So, I love you guys. I care about everybody. Guys, like we always say, pray for each other. Remember the people out here. Now, I didn't see Donna Kay today. Remember Leanna. Remember Mary with her particular issues she's dealing with. I'll look up something to see if I can help her find those rodent things that have a solar panel that you can put off to the, off a little distance in the sun so that might help her while she's gone because I know those work. And let's, so pray for people. I spoke with Shane this week. I haven't talked to him in a while. And he moved in with his father now that his grandmother passed. His father's a little older than me and starting to not want to live alone. So he moved and went to live with his father. And then he's been able to go to Colorado to visit with Lily's baby, which is Shane's grandson. And so that's all been happening in their family. I miss them, and I miss my friend Pixie. Let's see. G, I spoke to a couple of weeks ago. Just remember some of these people in your prayers. Um, oh, Leanna's working on a project too. She told me I hope it's okay to say this, Leanna. She told me the other day that she finally realized she wanted to clean up some of her old clothes that she doesn't wear anymore, and that she wanted to clean her spare bedroom and turn it into an actual guest room that feels like a guest room for her, in her opinion. So she's been working on that all week. Oh, and she was surprised. Okay, I didn't know some of you guys didn't know these things. So I've always been allergic to lots of perfumey things and stuff like that. So years ago, I found out that rather than using dryer sheets, that I'm like allergic to all the crap in them, and who wants all that chemical crap, anyways, right? If you take a piece of aluminum foil, crush it into a ball, and throw it in the dryer with your clothes, it'll take the static out of your clothes. I didn't know you guys didn't know that. Leanna was in shock. So she's using it and evidently feeling like that's a big thing. To me, it's a big thing too. I just didn't realize people didn't know about that. Um, so okay, I'm gonna go, and you guys have a great week. Pray for each other. Pray for the world. Pray for the powers that be. And as I always remember, pray for me too, please. But as I always do, I ask for wisdom and understanding and guidance and all that kind of stuff. And so, any of that you want to help each other with, um, pray about that, because prayers do, in my humble opinion, prayers work. And pray for this other person I know whose name begins with a K. She is a she her name begins with a K. That she gets guidance about the AI, because I don't feel like the AI is coming from the right place. And it disturbs me. I don't want to have too much influence from AI in my life. Okay, let me get off of here. And y'all have a great week. We'll come back next Sunday, same bat time, same bat channel. Yes, I was very upset when I started, because I've been going through something and a little bit on the downside this week. And I'm just saying that this happens for all of us. I'm not afraid to show you who I am as a human being. And so if you go back and you watch this and you see me in the beginning crying and going through my hard time, but then look at what helped me to come to a different stage today. Rocking, knitting, and talking to you all and helping you all with with things that are bothering you, helps me to not stay in that state of mind very long. So I appreciate you guys coming out and giving me the opportunity to help you, which in turn helps me. So next week we'll come back, same bat time, same bat channel. And that is 9:30 a.m. Arizona, USA time. Adjust it like Google or something for your time where you are. And then you come back and join us and say hi. Remember when you come in to use your 3 uppercase Q's so I can read your comments. And Iris says, God is never far away. Prayers and hearts. I agree with you. Y'all have a wonderful week. Ciao. See you next time. Ciao.